rise and shine. Coffee's brewing, feeling fine. News is out and on the air. Shizzy Whiz nuts wild, but we don't care. Morning Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz nuts, start the show. Let's go. Spinning in the breeze, stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java, wear a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Headlines spinning in the breeze, stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java, wear a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Serious is overrated. Every day we're caffeinated. Talk the town, but in a jest. Morning Whiz is always best. Time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop. Clock is ticking, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop.
Oh my god, Shizzy breaks Larry. Shizzy broke Larry.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good to see all of you. Yes. There was a change in tiers. The lowest tier went away on the 7th. So that's the only change that's happened. Well, there's been a new tier added, but it's only $1 more for the lowest tier. Sorry, it happened to everyone. So if you notice that it disappeared, that's why. So no, don't worry. And everyone that was a member would have gotten returned their monetary. You should have received it from YouTube. It would have come in. Anybody that was at the lowest tier, it would have refunded you the amount. So you're good. You're good. You didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do anything wrong at all. It happened with everybody that was at the low tier. Hey, good morning, little D. How are you doing? Look at you, girl. Good to see you. Oh my gosh, my hand has a big purple pink blister from burning it last night. Ouch. Ouch. I know that feeling. You got a gift membership. And this morning was the only way I was able to get into perks because of iPhone. Oh my. I just loaded Aussies in Spa. Never mind. Aussies in space. Good morning, Debbie Webb. Good morning. How are you? Good to see you, Mary. Rosilla, good to see you this morning. Nancy, and I'll probably miss a whole bunch of people because I'm horrible at this. I'm horrible at saying good morning to everybody. But you know who's not horrible at saying good morning? Is an OnlyFans star with 2 vajayjays. Annie Charlotte reveals her stunning 2025 earnings and biggest tipper. Imagine that. She's got a big tipper. OnlyFans star Annie Charlotte, famous for having 2 vajayjays, is cashing in on her rare condition, and this year is even better than the last. Charlotte, 27, revealed to the Post that she made $200,000 this year alone, on pace to match her, exceeding last year's eye-popping total of $400,000 for showing her vajayjays. It's an interesting way to make money. She also dished on recent requests that earned her some extra cash. someone actually messaged me the other day and asked for the bottom of my bed sheet. So like the thing you sleep on that covers your mattress, she said. He just wanted me to sleep in it. He literally was just like, can you take the sheet off your bed right now and package it and send it to me? And I was like, why not? He offered me like $500 for it. I was like, I could buy 20 more. Another fan shelled out $700 for her post-workout leggings and socks. Charlotte noticed a surge in spending on her. If she has an attention-grabbing video on Instagram, I'm going viral at the time. I'd like make stupid money that week, she said. An Instagram video she posted in April explaining her super rare medical condition earned Charlotte 22 million views. And a lot of money. I had a viral reel talking about my two vajayjays, and I made like 20,000 in that week, she said. Her biggest tipper is a man from England who has a wife and child and has regularly gifted her $10,000. This one guy religiously tips me every day, she said. He's been on my page for like 2 years and he just tips every single day. Some days it'll be 5, but some days it'll be like 200. He just depends on what he's got in the bank at that point. He'll be like, oh, here's a coffee, or buy yourself a real nice bracelet. Charlotte, native of Surrey, England, is one of the 0.3% of women worldwide with uterus delpias, which means she has 2 uteruses, 2 cervixes, and 2 vajayjays. The red-haired beauty started her OnlyFans account in February of 2021. I just one day was like, why am I sending nudes for free and getting heartbroken? Because I was sending nudes to these guys and they weren't texting me back, or I was sleeping with these men and I was getting nothing from it. And I was like, I could do OnlyFans, make money, not get heartbroken, and get rich. So I chose the better option. She describes her page as hardcore explicit. Yeah, I do everything. I have 2 vajayjays. I feel like I can't show them. I also have done content involving men in my 2 vajayjays. When she was 16, doctors told Charlotte she probably wouldn't be able to get pregnant, but after sharing her story on social media, she received an outpouring of messages from women all around the world with the same condition. I get the girls in my DMs being like, I've had a baby, by the way. It's real nice, she said. I don't ever reply, and I need to do like a public reply to all these girls because so many people would just message me and be like, I have this condition. I've had 2 children. Don't be upset. There's potential that you can still have kids. I'm now starting to think that maybe I do want children. Charlotte, who's also on Hinge and Tinder, said she's doubly difficult for her to date. Dating is harder as an OnlyFans model when a girl has 2 vajayjays, I can tell you that. Obviously, if I didn't actually have an OnlyFans and a big social media presence, I wouldn't have any issues with my 2 vajayjay dating because no one would know about it, she said. Since I've gotten a bit more viral, I have turned up to a date before, and 2 guys have turned up and been like, oh, yeah, well, it's 1 for each vajayjay. And she's really got it. She's really interesting just to hear her talk about it. I will tell you, it is interesting.
So I've made about 200K.
Wow.
I just one day was like, why am I sending nudes for free and getting heartbroken? Because I was like sending
Seriously?
nudes. Literally, I was sending nudes to these guys and they were breaking my heart. They weren't texting me back, or I was sleeping with these men and they just weren't like, I was getting nothing from it. And I was like, or I could do OnlyFans, make money and not get heartbroken and get rich. Someone actually messaged me the other day and asked for my bottom of my bed sheet.
Oh,
so
wow.
like,
Freak
yeah,
show.
so like the thing you put, like you sleep on, that covers your mattress.
Right, like the fitted sheet that goes on the...
Yeah, they asked me the other day if I could post that to them.
Did you?
Yeah. I was like, why not? I think he offered me like $500 for it. I was like, I can buy 20 more. No. I have another guy who bought my gym leggings the other day, but I had to wear them after I'd worked out, but I had to do a really intense workout, and he wanted my socks as well, my leggings and my socks. Dating is harder as an OnlyFans model than a girl with 2 vaginas, I can tell you that.
Why?
I think because I feel like the two vagina thing sometimes, especially now since I've got a bit more viral, I now get some vulgar Hinge, Tinder, all of that
You
kind of
think?
stuff messages. And I have turned up to a date before, and two guys have turned up and been like, "Oh yeah, well, it's one for each vagina." That I feel like
Oh.
I feel like that was supposed to obviously be a really funny joke. Luckily, I have a terrible sense of humor, so I did find it funny. And I was like, I just couldn't believe it. I was like, "What the hell is
Wait, did you
happening?"
continue the date?
Do you know what? I actually ended up having a few jokes with them, and then I was like, I'm going to go home now because this is weird.
I would say so. I would say so. I mean, that would be very, very weird. That would be very weird. Looks like a henna rinse than a natural redhead. Well, from what I understand, she's a natural redhead. Just saying. Just saying. But, you know, not all things are as sexy, I guess, as that. Because Maxim was condemned after the unsexiest women list surfaces with surprising first place winner. Ridiculously cruel. It's more like Unsexy and the City. Needsons are ripping at the controversial 18-year-old Maximum article that listed the most unattractive women in showbiz, with Sex and the City star Sarah Jessica Parker topping the Mount Rushmore of alleged off-putting celebs. The unflattering ranking came to light via Reddit posts that raised eyebrows online. In 2007, Maxim thought it was clever to publish a list of unsexiest women alive. The Reddit poster wrote, "Here are the 5 women that they selected." Now, SJP was named the unsexiest woman alive, with the men's mag describing her as the least sexy woman in a group of very unsexy women, per an article from Time on Today.com. How the hell did this racehorse barber-faced brat manage to star on a show with sex in the title? It read. Coming in second is Not Hot 100 was Amy Winehouse. The rehab singer, who died 4 years later of alcohol poisoning, was lambasted for her supposed openly hemorrhaging translucent skin, rat's nest mane, and lashes that looked more like surgically attached bats. Grey's Anatomy star Sandra Oh placed third on the most famous face mash, which Maxim describes as attributed to her cold bedside manner and boyish figure. Self-righteous belly aching and rapid deterioration landed top sensation Madonna on 4th place, and the mag compared her to a vampire. William Dafoe. Britney Spears, who was in the throes of her highly publicized meltdown at the time, rounded out the so-called cosmetically catastrophe quintet due to her perceived weight gain and turbulent personal life. Maxim derided the pop princess as filling chicken grease-stained sweatpants in the cover of every trashy tabloid and gossip blog on the internet, and having gained 2 kids, 2 useless ex-husbands, and about 23 pounds of Funyun Pudge. Sorry. The body-shaming hit list came out as a veritable Razzie Awards to the mag's Oscars, its Hot 100 list, which was released earlier that year. Amy Winehouse, or Rosa Southbeach, whatever, coming in first place was Lindsay Lohan, followed by Jessica Alba, Scarlett Johansson, and Christina Aguilera on the hottest. Thankfully, even the oft merciless Redditors were horrified by the derogatory piece. "Excuse the F out of me," sputtered one commenter, while another wrote, "Never understood the criticism of SJP's looks. All these women are hot." What exclaimed a third. Some chalked up the list to the ridiculous beauty standards of the aughts. We don't talk enough about how ridiculously cruel the 2000s were to women's bodies," said another. Sarah Simpson could not dare to add half a pound without some Life tabloid turning it into a headline. So 2 Jewish women were promised noses, an Asian woman, a 49-year-old woman, and a woman who had recently aged out of her sexy baby making, rude one critic. "Let's call it like it is. None of these women fit into the Eurocentric, blonde-haired, button-nose type big boob, flat tummy, good genes, barely legal categories. So sadly, I'm not surprised. Others thought the article was especially hypocritical given how most of the writers behind it said the countdowns generally weren't easy on the eyes themselves. It should be mandatory for anyone who publishes articles like this to post a picture of themselves besides their work, declared one appalled reader. Punjab writer Khalil Donaldson pointed out that the article was even revealed at the time, writing that many news outlets deemed it shockingly poor taste and stunningly sexist, despite celeb body shaming being in vogue. Everyone engaged in this circle of human bear baiting is a handful of women held up as acceptable targets, she wrote. The word train wreck had never been more utilized in the media vernacular. Sarah Jessica Parker spoke out about how much the article upset her. I'm really the unsexiest woman in the world, the actress said in an interview with Grazia magazine. The Daily Mail reported, wow, it's kind of shocking. She added, it's so brutal in a way, so filled with rage and anger. It is. I mean, but here's the thing. You're an actress. You know, if you're making the money, does it matter what they're saying about you, whether you look horrible or not? It doesn't matter. If they're saying that you're the most beautiful, what do you expect it to be the most beautiful? No, they're saying out of all of them, you were some of the worst. Now, they could have probably done a little bit better. They could have done a little better. I guarantee you, her husband, Matthew Broderick, when he ain't drunk, driving and killing people in Europe, enforces a strict paper bag rule in bed. I don't know. I don't find her attractive, but that doesn't mean somebody doesn't find her attractive. I mean, there are people that do like horses. But that's another story. I'm just kidding. Hey, Happy, how you doing? Oh, Sarah not being mistaken for Mr. Ed. Mr. Ed? Impossible. But, speaking of butts, it's not... This is so bad. Hey, how you doing from North Somerset, UK? Great Britain. Good to see you, KT. I like it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh my, bye. See you all in the tubes. You have a wonderful one, your mom. We'll see you. Oh, I hope you're getting some rest. Get some rest. I mean, you know, the thing is you don't have to be the most beautiful to have somebody find you attractive. And it's not just what's on the outside, it's what's on the inside. And I'm sure that she might be a lovely person. I don't know. I don't know if these people are lovely or not. I've never met them. You know, anything that I've seen about them on the TVs or the tubes or any crap like that doesn't really interest me. I mean, was it Scarlett Johansson? I find her about as interesting as anyone else. Sure, she's cute, but did she really just is she going to give two shits about me? Probably not. Probably not. She's just going to look at me and go, look at that loser. Just fine. I'm happy where I'm at, and I hope she's happy where she's at. I mean, I don't have to act for them. I had the worst diarrhea ever on a plane that had to land and cancel the flight. This was a headline? Oh my gosh. Well, what exactly happened? The music is that's never good. An airline was forced to 86 a flight after this gal took a terrible number 2. Megan swears she isn't a monster. The blonde is simply a frequent flyer whose stubborn bout with uncontrollable diarrhea allegedly caused United Airlines to call off its takeoff so that hazmat specialists could clean up her massive blow up. I single-handedly got a flight out of Indianapolis canceled, an apologetic lady said, over to 20 million TikTok viewers. If that flight cancellation changed the trajectory of your life in a really negative way, I am so sorry. But it wasn't without pain and suffering. Reiner Stan, a nanny and a budding actress, explained that she was traveling from Portugal back to the U.S. for a film premiere when a disturbing deep in her bowels ignited. Something was brewing, she remembered, thinking, something has happened that I'm not prepared to deal with. That something was food poisoning. It was a nasty, not so little bug that Belle picked up after eating an undercooked hamburger the night before her flight. Although food poisoning is rarely fatal, according to Cleveland Clinic, symptoms of the illness include vomiting and diarrhea can feel deadly. An Etihad Airways passenger had to be, I'm going to play that in a minute, had to, it's so bad. An Etihad passenger had to be wheeled off the aircraft after eating a smelly in-flight meal and throwing up over 24 times in a 6-hour flight from hell. And a recent Delta Airlines flight from Detroit to Amsterdam was forced to make an emergency landing in New York when several passengers exhibit signs of food poisoning from the reportedly spoiled grub served while at 30,000 feet. Luckily, Ryder started her rumbling belly didn't cause the plane to make an unscheduled stop. It did, however, stop her fellow passengers from using the bathroom. I am full body sweating. I'm crying. My insides are cramping. She recalls at the moments leading up to the explosion. Added she feared the public accident would erupt if she didn't hightail it to the toilet, even though the seatbelt sign was still illuminated. I couldn't let that happen to me, said the hapless sweetheart, who then admitted, please don't show me the toilet. I don't want to see what it looks like. Who then admitted for the next 20 minutes, I have more diarrhea than any human should have in their life. And luckily the seat's clean. Amid her pooping nightmare in the cramped airplane commode, vomit also sprang up, prompting Reimerstein to call a flight attendant for help. After barfing in a bag provided by the cabin crew member, she remained in a lavatory spewing and defecating for the duration of the flight. The attendant informed her that the next trip the Airbus was scheduled to make had been canceled. Reimerstein was ultimately wheelchaired, escorted off the plane, which she was then parked for deep cleaning and left to fend for herself at baggage claim. Sadly, her misadventures didn't end there. She also suffered from another round of diarrhea in her hotel bed. Robertson says the flight attendant, but the shame of the soiling the establishment sheets apparently didn't compare to the embarrassment of grounding an airplane. They canceled the flight because of me. The hazmat team had to come in and clean it because they didn't know if I brought a disease back from Portugal. I'm a biohazard, she self-depreciatingly teased. I am patient zero. I gotta see this. Oh, let's
And if that flight cancellation changed the trajectory of your life in a really negative way, I'm so sorry. It was not without pain and suffering. Let me run you through the events of that day. So I wake up at 3 a.m. Portugal time. I'm flying from Portugal, from Faro Airport to Lisbon, Lisbon to Newark, Newark to Indianapolis, to hopefully make it to the premiere of a film that I'd worked on. I wake up about 30 minutes from the Newark airport. I've been asleep a good solid 5 hours. I wake up to a disturbance deep within my bowels. And by disturbance, I don't mean like, oh my God, this is an emergency, land the plane in the water. I just mean like, something is brewing. Something is happening that I am not prepared to deal with in the next 2 hours, where I have to get through the hour-long customs line, get my bag, change terminals, recheck my bag, go through security, you know the whole drill. And because of who I am as a person, I still don't have TSA pre-check because I cannot remember to schedule the appointment. So I make it through the customs line.
I just want to say I'm surprised. I'm really surprised that her shirt didn't say the Browns on it. Just saying. Her shirt would have said the Browns. I would have lost it. She's sorry. Oh, that's so bad.
Line. I've been sweating. I'm sweating the whole time. Stomach's cramping. I'm down bad. I somehow, by the grace of God, make it to my next gate. With 10 minutes to spare, but only because that flight got delayed by 10 minutes. So I said, ooh, I got 5 minutes to hopefully go to the bathroom and sort this all out before I get on a plane for another 2 hours. Not time. things are still brewing, which tells me, oh no, this is gonna be bad. I just gotta get on this flight and hope for the best. Okay?
That ain't gonna
I
help.
get on this flight.
Not food poisoning.
I get on this flight. I'm in my little window seat. I sit there and spend the next 30 minutes in agonizing pain.
Yeah.
I've never felt anything like it in my life.
Oh.
I am just full body sweating. I'm crying. My insides are cramping. I can only imagine that is what a contraction feels like.
No.
It's not, probably, but you get it. I unfortunately, as someone terrified to get in trouble for God knows what reason, I'm an adult. I am like, I can't get up the seatbelt signs on. You can see how this creates a huge problem for me. And this is finally where I decide, like, hey, actually, this is an emergency. Like, we all saw that woman that shit up the whole aisle of the Delta flight. And I want to be clear, no judgment. Clearly, I've been there. I'm on your side. I am in support of you. But I couldn't let that happen to me. So I was like, okay, now as ever is the time to break this rule specifically. I make it to the bathroom, and for the next 20 minutes, I have more diarrhea than any human should ever have in their life. I mean, my bowels are just filling with water, releasing, filling with water, not water, diarrhea, releasing. It is now at a point where I go, I'm about to throw up. But now,
just the
I
smell
am in
alone
a
would make you throw
2x2
up.
shoebox broom closet.
Yeah.
I gotta wipe. I gotta pull my pants up. I gotta get my sweatshirt off because I am a naked thrower-upper because I'm panicking.
She's a naked thrower.
I'm already sweating. I'm already sweating from the this. Now I'm sweating because I'm like, oh no. I gotta get everything off. I gotta get turned around on my knees. Dear God, I gotta flush. I'm not getting on my knees in front of that. I manage it. Okay. I get onto my knees. I start with every gag, death knocking at the doors of my butthole. With every gag, I am starting to shit my pants a little bit. This cannot be happening to me right now. I'm not a child. I don't have another chain of clothes on this flight. So oh God. Because I don't know what to do. You can't throw up into the sink on this airplane, right? It's this big. And the faucet is over top. So you can't even and there's the grate at the bottom. So if there's it's not going in, right? I don't know what to do. I don't know which is worse, to throw up on the ground or to shit on the ground.
Squirting out the backside.
In my panic, I stand up and I rip open the airplane bathroom door and I just yell into the plane, I need help! I need help! And it comes out from behind a curtain.
On TikTok.
The wizard just, what do you need? She literally goes, what do you need? Because she's seeing me and she's like, and I go, the barf bag. I don't know. What you got? She starts out of a cabinet, pushing me back into the bathroom with this plastic bag. I get my pants down. I'm everything,
Food poison.
And I do this for the next hour and a half of this flight.
Oh.
I didn't leave that bathroom for the next hour and a half of this flight.
Ouch.
They know my name by now. I haven't told them.
Yeah.
They keep coming and checking. They've checked the flight roster. This girl has not been in her seat the whole flight. We know it's her.
You're not sure.
Megan, honey, do you need anything? Can we get you some ginger ale? where are you flying from? I go, Portugal. Okay. Okay, everything's going to be fine. We're about 10 minutes now from landing. They go, Megan, we got about 10 more minutes.
On the list.
If you feel like you can make it back to your seat.
Yeah.
But if
I bet
you
she
can't,
is.
we did get clearance from the pilot that you can stay in the bathroom while we land.
Whew.
Everybody now knows. First of all, everybody now knows because I've been doing more moaning and groaning in this bathroom for the past hour and a half that
Sure. God.
Hefner's never even heard anything like this, okay? I have no shame in me. I'm in so much pain.
I bet you are.
I am down so bad. I don't care what the people hear.
Oh.
Because there is nothing that the people can hear that is worse than what is happening to me.
I imagine
Okay?
not. I imagine not. Oh my God. I feel for her. Oh, dude. Oh, that's gotta be one of the worst things. I don't know if you've ever had food poisoning, but I would tell you that's exactly what happens. I mean, you are in like the worst pain, and you don't care at that point. It's not until afterwards that you're just like, oh God. It's like Randy going, just like, hey, Mama Coop, how you doing? Good to see you. Yes, it's awful, but never on a plane. Well, that's the thing. It was the night before she had undercooked meat in Portugal, undercooked meat, hamburger meat, and she ended up getting food poisoning. I would not have got on the flight and started to feel that way before boarding. Oh no, she was on the plane when it happened. It was on the plane when it happened. Oh God, dear God, that would be so horrible. That would be horrible. Now, she almost can understand what man flu feels like. Yes. The funny part is she goes, I have to take off all my clothes when I throw up. It was just, oh no. I bet she never looks at it. She probably say again. I'm on the highway to Hersheyville. Oh, good Lord. Oh no. I feel for her. I feel for her so much. Oh, the poor people on the plane are just like, oh God, just like move away from the love, because this is gonna be bad. You know, everybody can hear that too, and they're just sitting there going. Who's killing her? Control tower, we have a code red. Oh, you missed her. Chris, you just had to go back and watch. It's so bad. It's so bad. Oh, I thought Jeremy's farts were bad. Blowing out at both ends. Yes. Yes. Well, at least we have an alien story this morning. Do you guys like to hear the alien story? How about a palate cleanser? Oh, so in Florida, go figure, 2 Miami men have pled guilty to federal charges for their roles in a conspiracy to smuggle aliens into the United States by sea. According to court documents and statements made in the court between July 24th and March 25th, Ezequiel Perez Benitez, 37, and Miguel Evoy, 36, participated in at least 3 alien smuggling ventures. As part of the conspiracy, Go Fast boats would travel from Miami-Dade to the territorial waters of the Bahamas. During each return trip to the United States, the boats were intercepted in the United States waters by U.S. Customs, Borders Protection, Air and Marine Operations, and the U.S. Coast Guard. Overall, the The conspiracy involved 69 aliens of various nationalities, including China and Ecuador. The conspiracy also involved the transportation of aliens within the United States after they entered the country unlawfully. A third co-defendant, Bashing Ang, a Chinese national, pleaded guilty on June 9th to charges related to conspiracy and the transportation of aliens. Anne was arrested by Homeland Security Investigations, or HSI, during an investigative operation targeting the human smuggling network. All aliens interdicted at sea were either prosecuted for illegal re-entry to the United States, returned to their country of departure, in this case the Bahamas, or turned over to Immigration and Customs, or ICE, for further immigration proceedings. Several additional co-conspirators have been charged in separate related cases. Avoy was sentenced to 24 months in prison for his role in the conspiracy. Perez was scheduled to be sentenced on October 30th at 10:30 a.m. in Miami and faces up to 10 years in prison, followed by up to 3 years of supervised release and a fine of up to $250,000. United States Attorney Hayden P.O. Barn. For the Southern District of Florida, acting special agent in charge, Jose R. Figueroa of HSI Miami Field Office, made the announcement. HSI Miami invested the case with assistance of CBP, AMO, USCG, Southeast Coast Guard District, and Special Assistant Attorney, United States Attorney Tanner Stile, in prosecuting this case. You may find a copy of that press release and any updates on the website of the United States Attorney's Office for Southern District of Florida. Also found on www.justice.gov, USAOSDFL. They thought she was giving birth to a lawyer. They didn't fly in a spaceship. They didn't fly on the spaceship with them aliens. No, different kind of aliens. Totally different kind of aliens. It's interesting that kind of crap happens, but it is one of those that happens. Oh my God. What in the hell? See, I don't understand the craziness of some people's. It makes no sense. It makes no sense, the craziness of people. There is, and I'm waiting to see if anything else funky happens, because sometimes it takes a little bit for it to act weird. We'll see if it does. Close that, and all right, what is... Oh, that's horrible. I just saw a headline that was a little spooky. The Judgment Fund can make the whole victims of Biden's weaponized Department of Justice. There are real victims in Biden's weaponized Department of Justice Department, and it's time to make them whole. The fix is easy, quick, and immune to judicial meddling. Consider the outrageous prosecution of Douglas Mackey. The Biden Justice Department went after him for tweeting a joke that Hillary supporters could vote by text in 2016. It was telling that he was indicted 4 years after the tweet, just days after Joe Biden's inauguration in 21. The Second Circuit Court of Appeals reversed this ridiculous conviction this year because of no rational jury could have found him guilty. DOJ prosecuted Florida resident in New York because no rational jury could be found in Brooklyn. If Dan Bongino and Pam Bondi want to drain the swamp fully, consult the DOJ press release on Mackey's conviction. James Smith, Assistant Director in Charge, FBI, New York Field Office, announced the sentence. The case is being prosecuted by Assistant United States Attorney Eric Turner, Eric Paulson and Turner Buford of the Eastern District of New York's Public Integrity Section, and Trial Attorney William J. Golota of the Department of Justice's Public Integrity Section. James Smith, Eric D. and F. Turner, and William J. Golota, check your email. Despite his exoneration, Mackey still had hundreds of thousands of dollars in attorney's fees, and he's not alone. Across America, innocent bystanders were forced to respond to Justice Department subpoenas investigating the Russia collusion hoax and January 6th investigation. The roster of innocent bystanders includes many of President Trump's political allies, campaign staff, leadership from the presidential campaign and first administration. Merely being a campaign staffer could win you a visit from the United States Marshal with a subpoena. There were other DOJ targets. Pro-life activists were also targeted by Biden's authoritarianism. If you engaged in protected First Amendment speech outside abortion clinics, the DOJ hit many with subpoenas. I wrote about one pastor who was even subpoenaed for the content of his sermons. What do those who say Trump is an authoritarian call that? And this is the reason I mentioned this is because lawsuits are costly. They're expensive. If you get put into a lawsuit and that person drops that lawsuit suddenly, you've already spent the money to try to have to fight this off. It's even more egregious whenever you have someone that's an attorney file this, because they're giving you the runaround, and next thing you know, they've racked up all kinds of money. Don't ever suggest it. Anyone who thought that meme was true probably shouldn't vote anyway. Most likely, I would agree with you. And I mean, and it's not just the left, it's the right. Anybody that's doing these kinds of things, it's called lawfare for a reason, because they can't fight back, or they feel like they need to do this kind of thing. It shouldn't be done. You have aspirations of being a unintended co-conspirator. I hope not, Stephen. Nobody wants to be an unintended co-conspirator. Americans who were merely adjacent to Trump after the 2020 election were subjected to subpoenas, even though they were genuine bystanders. That was the design. The process was the pain. Paying attorneys to help prepare for depositions and grand jury proceedings was part of the pain. The flurry of subpoenas wiped out college funds, savings accounts, and assets owned by those icky right-wingers. We get how you left this role. We sent swarms of officers to harass our people and eat out their substance. Some good news, there's a way to compensate the victims. The Attorney General Pam Bondi can use the little-known judgment fund to compensate millions of dollars in attorneys' fees and costs. Never heard of a judgment fund? The judgment fund is a pot of money sitting at the Treasury Department used to pay judicially and administratively ordered monetary awards against the United States. The federal regulation that governs the fund says it can be used to pay amounts owed under compromise agreements negotiated by the U.S. Department of Justice in settlements of claims against the government. The judgment fund is a permanent, indefinite appropriation that pays out millions of dollars for mistakes, errors, and violations of federal law committed by federal agencies and federal employees. The permanent, indefinite appropriation language means that the money just magically shows up for the Treasury and the Justice Department to use without needing specific appropriation from Congress. Simply, this fund is used to pay off judgments that victims could potentially win against federal government. Victims don't need a court order or a finding by a tribunal to be compensated by the fund. The Justice Department can use the judgment fund to pay claims presented to the department through settlements of actual imminent litigation that the Justice Department in its sole discretion thinks are appropriate. Imminent litigation would always include lawyers for the victims presenting claims to the Department of Justice seeking compensation and threatening to sue if their claim is not paid. It would only take settling one claim to open the floodgates. The Justice Department essentially has to carte blanche to use this fund to compensate all the individuals who incurred costs of representation against the Biden Justice Department's misbehavior. Under the regulations, the DOJ merely fills out a form, sends a copy of the settlement agreement to the Treasury Department to request payment. DOJ can quickly settle claims to pay the attorney's fees and costs. Congress and organizations like the radical left groups that fill D.C. have no standing to complain, neither can courts. This is an executive branch decision from stem to stern. Not everyone will be made completely whole, like former Deputy National Security Advisor K.T. McFarland and many others, such as Dr. Ethan Hames of Dallas. DOJ lawyer Tina Ansari wrongly prosecuted Hames for reporting that Texas Children's Hospital was violating a Texas law banning surgical mutilation of children. DOJ has Office of Professional Responsibility complaints against Ansari for multiple ethical violations, and so does the Texas Bar, yet it appears she is still on the DOJ payroll. Reimbursing the victims of Ansari, Strzok, and all the other authoritarians in Biden DOJ for their legal costs would go a long way to repairing the harm and the abusive, corrupt administration deliberately inflicted. Attorney General Pam Bondi and new leadership at the DOJ can use judgment fund to provide at least a small measure of justice to all these victims. Good morning, everyone. Welcome, James. Good to see you. Pam Bondi is almost as hot as Rosalind. Almost. That's right. Oh man, it was awesome. I had Rosalind on last night for a short period of time. I had not talked to her for, oh geez, it's probably been a good month, or probably about a month, something like that. Maybe 2. I don't know. It's been a while. Everyone thinks we've got this whole like little cabal or something. We talk to each other all the time. You'd be surprised how little we are able to converse with people. They should have made them whole for any time that they've had to serve as well. Exactly. And yep, you're still sleepy. Well, that's a good thing. Well, I am going to take and grab myself some more coffee. So you guys hang out here just a second. I want to play a little music because, well, you got to get a little bit of that dancing groove in. Am I right or am I right? I'll be right back.
Time to shine. I'm feeling the groove with these hips of mine. Hands in the air like spaghetti gone rogue. My knees are jelly and my hips just broke. Shaking it, breaking it, what a blast. Wobble it, wiggle it, shake that ass. Do a jig or a jog, wiggle it to the side, or break that hip by moving your ass. Step up or stand aside. My shoulders pop like a rusty hinge. My fingers point like they're on a binge. Twirl like a tornado, then drop real low. It's not planned, it's a shit sideshow. I've got the rhythm of a clock that's broke. My dance floor moves are a big effing joke. Shaking it, breaking it, what a blast. Wobble it, wiggle it, shake that ass. Do a jig or a jog, wiggle it to the side, or break that hip bone by moving your ass. Step up or stand aside. Mesmerizing glow. You can't help but watch me steal the show. I summon the shake, the shimmy, the twist, a mix of genius and a big old fist. You're drawn in close, your feet start to twitch, feeling the groove like a broke ass bitch. Yeah, shaking it, breaking it, what a blast. Wobble it, wiggle it, shake that ass. Do a jig or a jog, wiggle it to the side, or break that hip bone by moving your ass. Step up or stand aside. Now we're all in the shake, no need to be shy. Move like spaghetti and reach for the sky. We'll dance like we're cursed, laugh till we're sore. Shizzy whiz nut reigns forevermore. So join the dance, let your weirdness unfurl. We're shaking ass, not a care in the world.
My Lord Almighty. I just want to say that this next story I find very disturbing. And this is unbelievable. A substitute teacher had sex with a boy 11 during play dates and then blames him for supposedly coming on to her. A pervy substitute teacher had sex with an 11-year-old male student during play dates at her house, then blamed the child, telling cops he made advances towards her first, Illinois authorities said. Disgraced sub Allie Barnesfield, 34, would also exchange messages and explicit photos with the boy over Snapchat, then sent him hundreds of dollars through Cash App over several months, a police statement alleges. The sixth-grade victim's mother discovered $700 in Cash App payments from the Barterfield when she checked her son's phone after noticing his behavior had changed following a sleepover at the teacher's house in Mount Zion, according to a sworn police statement. The mom confronted her son, who told her he had unprotected sex with Bardfield. The document said Bardfield, who pled guilty to predatory criminal sexual assault this past week, has been the boy's teacher at the Hope Academy Public School in Decatur at the time of the abuse between 23 and 24. The substitute teacher invited the boy to multiple play dates at her home in 23, then twice in March 24, during which time the pair had 2 encounters of the sexual kind, according to the lawsuit filed by the child's parents. In a police interview, the disgraced educator claimed the child had made advances towards her sexually towards the first night that she had sex with him. She was fired by the public school system in Decatur. Then the abuse came to light in April last year. The pervert appeared in court in Macon County on Thursday for a deposition hearing at which she reached a partial plea with prosecutors. The 34-year-old woman faces up to 30 years in prison. I don't think that's enough. Bardfield has faced up to 40 years in prison, although the exact sentence has not been agreed upon yet. Predatory criminal sexual assault is punishable by up to 60 years in prison, but the state agreed to cap its recommended sentence for Bardfield to 40 years as part of the plea deal. She will be sentenced September 25th. Yes, and Moe's wood chipper would be too nice for that. I mean, you can think, as an adult, you're going, why couldn't this have ever happened to me? Be thankful that it didn't, because this can mess a child up that is still developing their brain. From what I understand, I don't know if this is true or not. Somebody that's in that kind of profession could probably tell you. From what I've heard, is it messes up any future relationships that they could possibly have of having a normal relationship, because they don't quite understand how a normal relationship is supposed to work between a man and a woman. They get a skewered outlook on this. I mean, as an adult, you're like, man, that would have been awesome. But as a kid, it messes them up permanently, makes their relationships in the future even worse. 40 years isn't enough for this beast of a human being. It's just absolutely horrible. I mean, look at her. She's all tatted up thinking, well, he came on to me. This is horrible. I mean, when I saw this, I was like, this is just, why? Our kids should be protected from this kind of crap. Oh, what? Looks like a mother confesses to killing. Continue with that. A mother confesses to killing, dismembering her son with his wife. Did she dismember the wife too, or she was just dismembering along with the wife? They were helping together. After he allegedly physically abused her, an Italian mother confesses to allegedly deleting and dismembering her own son with the help of his wife to protect the young woman from his alleged physical abuse in their marriage, according to reports. Lorena Venier, 61, admitted to deleting her son, Alessandro Venier, 35, after his wife, Malin Castro Monslavo, 30, called Italian police to confess to helping commit the jarring act on July 25th. Alessandro's body was found hacked to pieces in the basement of the home he shared with his wife and 6-month-old daughter in the town of Gemona de Friuli, Italy. Wow. I can't tell which way mom's looking. Is she looking at the camera or is she looking at the guy next to her? I took care of Alessandro's dismemberment myself. Lorena, who is a nurse, told the judge during a court appearance. I used a hacksaw and a sheet to hold the blood and dissected him into 3 pieces. There were no blood splatters. That's why the Cabarina police found everything in order, she said. The mother and daughter-in-law duo had been planning the deletion for months after Alessandro had been allegedly physically abused Castro. Malin had been asking me to kill my son for months, ever since the day their daughter was born in January. Malin was violently beaten, insulted, and repeatedly threatened with death. My son downplayed her postpartum depression, and then I decided to report it. He punched me in the back, she claimed. Alessandro had allegedly discussed moving to Colombia, where his wife is from, with their child, but Lorena was too fearful of what could do harm to the family. I could not have allowed them to go to Colombia. Malin and the baby would have run very serious risks there. The only way to stop him was to kill him. Alessandro had also allegedly threatened to drown his wife in the Colombian River, local reports said. The mother and daughter duo had been planning their murder for months. Castro and Lorena allegedly handed Alessandro a glass of tranquilizer-spiked lemonade and gave him 2 shots of insulin from the hospital where she worked to knock him unconscious, officials said, according to Daily Mail. Alessandro was still alive even after the heavy dose of insulin. The father then suffocated with a pillow, strangled with shoelaces, and covered in QuickTime to conceal the smell of his body. Lorena told the courtroom that Castro was only involved in moving the remains. The mother hoped her son's disappearance would go unnoticed since the family had plans to move to South America, but her plan was foiled by Castro's confession. Yes, because, you just deleted her husband. But the lasagna tasted a little funny. That's bad. Lorena has been charged with murder and concealing a body. Castro has been investigated for instigation to murder, the outlet reported. I mean, there's certain ways to handle this, and taking these things into your own hand does not end well. As much as people like to think they would, I would totally do something horrible to another person. Just remember, there are consequences. That's why you don't do these kinds of things. Think about the Salem witch burnings. How many of those were actually witches? Every damn one of them. No, that's the problem. You've got people that are in some sort of panic and doing really horrible things, not thinking things through. There is no big criminal mastermind. It's insane. Oh, what is this? Oh, I've seen this one before. This is going to be funny. This next story is hilarious. I will pull it up here right about here. So a cruise passenger fumes after learning raunchy reason why women were flirting with him. They thought he was doing a different kind of cruising. A cruise passenger was steaming mad after he realized the shocking reason why strangers were paying so much attention to him on board, detailing the reveal on a TikTok video with over 90 million views. In the viral clip filmed from his female partner's point of view, content creator Ricky Bobby is seen lounging on the deck of a Carnival cruise ship with his partner as fellow passenger. Ogle interact with and even touch him. They would whisper things under their breath, she described in the caption, and even sometimes flirt with us. At one point, a woman in a blue swimsuit even grabs him by the hand. Then all of a sudden, it dawned on the couple why Bobby was so popular on board. We heard them say, "Look at his pineapple shirt," exclaimed his partner, and the camera pans to him, donning a shirt that's embalsamed with a tropical fruit. While the symbol may seem innocuous or festive, it's also a sign that people are up for swinging, defined by engaging in group sex or swapping sexual partners. This pastime is particularly popular aboard cruise ships where the randy travelers have been known to pin pictures of upside-down pineapples to cabin doors to let passengers, pleasure boaters know that they're in the mood for a salacious switcheroo on the high seas. Bobby was reportedly pissed over his accidental sex on ship signal per the clip, which ends with the embarrassed content creator sitting on the deck chair without his pineapple-riddled attire. However, commenters found it hilarious that he inadvertently let his freaky flag fly. Just look up what upside down pineapple means, Howling, said one bemused commenter, while the other wrote blue swimsuit was trying to get chosen. In fact, Bobby claimed that the latter woman even reached out to him on TikTok following the incident, writing, "Hey guys, blue swimsuit girl found me on TikTok." Others shared similar moments of sending mixed signals via pineapple-themed culture. I made the same mistake. I got called out by a comedian on a cruise ship during his show, said one embarrassed commenter. The rest of the cruise, I was called Mr. Pineapple Shirt. I had no idea. Most definitely threw it in the trash. Me and my ex didn't know it had matching pineapple shirts on a cruise. We were like, people are so nice to keep talking to us. Imagine that. Oops, better Warren Kaiser. Pineapple replaces the loofah. I no idea. Oh my God. I would see, that's the thing, as I would be completely appalled at that too. Not thinking about it, just be like, oh, I have a pineapple shirt, whatever. And people are really nice to me. I wonder why. I'd be a little upset too, because if it's not your culture, you're just, that's not your sexual preferences. To find that out would be like, oh yeah, Kaiser Pineapple, I feel sorry for you, bro. Or maybe that is his thing. Who knows? I don't know. No judgment here. You can do whatever you want to. I was just typing that. It's just, opens Amazon app, orders 5 pineapple shirts. Hey, honey, let's go on a cruise. But you get to stay. No. That crap is not happening. No. Oh my God. No. Guys are so bad. You guys are so bad. Oh, we got to end the violence. End the violence. We can't have these kinds of things happening. Not in this society. No. Violence against political opponents is becoming mainstream on the left, and here's more proof. The idea of doing violence to one's political opponents has become mainstream on the left. Don't believe me? Consider the case of one Aman Abdul, the 27-year-old woman who has worked on the campaign of Ocasio Democrat Swizzlestick and New York State Senator Julie Salazar, of course. Abdul has just been arrested for calling for an attack on a high school because a large number of Jewish students go to it. Now, there's no doubt whatsoever that AOC and Salazar would roundly condemn Abdul's call. Why? There's just no question of that at all. And yet, Iman Abdul is only the latest of many leftists to call for or justify violence against people they fear or hate. Some of these include the Cultural Revolution's top leaders in the United States. Never before in my life have I called for mass protest or mobilization or disruption, but I am now, said far-left Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker back in April. These Republicans cannot know a moment of peace. It was after Kwesi Mufi, Democrat victimhood, said in February that this will be a congressional fight, a constitutional fight, a legal fight, and on days like this, a street fight. Yes, we will stand. And that was not long after House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, hey, I'm a victim too, said this is the extreme MAGA Republican agenda. We're going to fight it legislatively. We're going to fight it in the courts. We're going to fight it in the streets. Before them was Nancy Pelosi, Maxine Waters, Camel Toe, inciting leftist violence. And let's not forget Senator Chuck Schumer, the grill master, saying in 2020 when condemning the pro-life leanings of Supreme Court Justice Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh. I want to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you've released a whirlwind and you will pay the price. Leftists outside of politics joined in the fun as well. Remember just a few of the many available examples. Kathy Griffin holding Trump's bloodied severed head, or Madonna saying she wanted to blow up the White House, or Robert De Niro belling that he wanted to punch Trump in the face. In the light of all that, and there's much, much more, Iman Abdul looks positively mainstream. And on Thursday, according to New York Post, she posted on her Instagram account, which has 25,000 followers, a screenshot from Google Maps pointing out the exact location of Leon M. Goldstein High School for the Sciences in the Manhattan Beach section of Brooklyn. Abdul added the caption to the map: if anyone needs a public school in New York to attack for whatever reason, Lexus driving Israeli-loving Zionists all still attend there. They've gone on Birthright, which is a program that enables Jewish youth to visit Israel. The Post noted that the NYPD arrested Abdul in her Brooklyn home on Friday, charging her with making a terroristic threat, acting in a manner injurious to a child, aggravated harassment, making a threat of mass harm. That was good, but Abdul is unrepentant, right? And to the watchdog group Stop Anti-Semitism grammar, as in the original, I never called for an attack on a school in the sense of mass organization or not even individual people attacking individuals. That's literally stupid. I called for an attack on the school, the Zionist institution funded by our public dollars, in which by design most Zionists attend. We have every right to verbally attack the school, especially regarding our previous experiences, brown, black people in that horrific space. Yeah, no, that's right. She played the racism card and the victim card. Clearly, we're dealing with a highly trained, experienced left activist, yet troubling questions remain. After all, Abdul's old boss, the winsome and wise AOC herself, wrote this back in May when a man screaming Free Palestine deleted 2 Israeli embassy workers in Washington. Absolutely nothing justifies the deletion of innocents, and I'm devastated by the killing of 2 people outside event there in Washington. Our prayers are with the victims, families, and loved ones of all impacted. As we all await more details, we must be clear that hatred has no home here. Anti-Semitism is a threat to all we hold dear as a society. It must be confronted and rooted out everywhere. Any kind of horrible acts being called upon people should be stopped. You know, she's saying, oh, I was just trying to get them to attack it verbally. Yeah, but what happens whenever they go out and they do things horribly to other people? It becomes a really big problem. We don't want that. Now sending the song to your editor. Shirts. I've lived a sheltered life. There's nothing wrong with living a sheltered life. I have too. I never heard about this stuff because that was not my thing. I mean, I knew that people were doing that kind of stuff, but it wasn't my deal. I mean, there was somebody that whenever they were at a restaurant, they put a they didn't want any more wine. And so what they did is they took their little, what do you call it? Little coaster or whatever, and put it over the top of their glass just so they, the person pouring the wine wouldn't pour any more wine in it. If you've got a bottle sitting at the table, a lot of times a server will come by and pour wine, and she just set something up there so they wouldn't pour her any more wine. Because what would happen is she would end up getting too drunk. Then she couldn't drive, and she didn't want to do. Apparently, that particular location that they were at, that was a signal that they were up for swinging. She had no idea why all these people started being really nice to her. Women coming up and, touching her and saying, hey, good to see you, my name, and introducing themselves. She was just like, all of a sudden, why did I become famous? Apparently that was some sort of like dog whistle or whatever they call that, of saying, hey, we got that you're advertising. Well, whenever she found out that that's what that meant for this group of people, yeah, she just stopped ordering wine. Okay, welcome back. It's good to see you. Good to see you. I've got a very busy day today. You have no idea, but not as busy as this. Donald Trump's executive order banning diversity, equity, and inclusion-related racial and gender preferencing have ostensibly doomed the DEI industry. But DEI was already on its last legs. Half of all Americans no longer approve of racial, ethnic, or gender preferences. DEI had enjoyed a surge following the death of George Floyd and the subsequent 120 days of nonstop rioting, arson, assaults, killings, and attacks on law enforcement during the summer of 2020. In those chaotic years, DEI was seen as the answer to all racial tensions. DEI had insidiously replaced the old notion of affirmative action and 1960s era government remedy for historical prejudices against Black Americans and the legacy of slavery to Jim Crow segregation. But during the Obama era, diversity superseded affirmative action by offering preferences to many groups well beyond Black Americans. Quite abruptly, Americans began talking in Marxist binaries. On one side were the supposed 65-70% of white majority oppressors and victimizers, often stereotyped as exuding white privilege, white supremacy, or even white rage. They were juxtaposed to 25-30% of diverse Americans, the so-called oppressed and victimized, yet almost immediately contradictions and hypocrisies undermined DEI. First, how does one define diverse and increasingly multiracial, intermarried, assimilated, and integrated society? Well, DNA badges, the old one-drop rule of the antebellum South, the superficial appearance. To establish racial or ethnic proof of being 1/16, 1/4, 1/2 non-white employers, corporations, universities would have become racially obsessed genealogists. Yet refusing to become racial auditors also would allow racial and ethnic fraudsters like Elizabeth Warren, would-be new mayor of New York, Zoran Madani, to go unchecked. Warren falsely claimed Native American heritage to leverage a Harvard professorship. Madani, an immigrant son of a wealthy Indian immigrants from Uganda, tried to game his way to college by claiming he was African American. Second, in the 21st century America, class became increasingly divergent from race. Mandami, who promised to tax affluent and whiter neighborhoods at higher rates, as himself the child of Indian immigrants, was the most affluent ethnic group in America. Why would the children of Barack Obama, Joy Reid, or LeBron James need any special preferences given the multimillionaire status of their parents? In other words, one's superficial appearance, no longer necessary, determines one's income or wealth, or defines their privilege or lack thereof. Third, DEI is often tied to questions of reparations. The current white majority supposedly owes another particular group financial or entitlement compensation for the sins of the past. Yet in today's multiracial, multi-ethnic society in which over 50 million residents were not born in the U.S. and many have only recently arrived, what are the particular historical or past grievances that would earn anyone special treatment? What injustices can recent arrivals from southern Mexico, South Korea, Chad claim, as they would know little about and have experienced firsthand nothing prior from Americans, the United States, or its history? Is the DEI logic that when a Guatemalan steps one foot across the southern border, she is suddenly classified as a victim of white oppression and therefore entitled to preferences in hiring or employment as someone diverse or victimized? Fourth, does the word minority still carry any currency? In today's California, the demography breaks down as 40% Latino, 34% white, 16% Asian American or Pacific Islander, 6% Black, and 3% other, with no significant majority and whites fewer than the Latino minority. Are Latinos the new de facto majority? Whites just one of the four other minorities? Do other minorities then have grievances against Latinos, given that they are the dominant population in that state? Fifth, when does DEI proportional representation apply? When does it not? Are whites overrepresented among the nation's university faculties that are reportedly 75% white when they comprise only about 70% of the population? Or are whites underrepresented and making up only 55% of all college students and thus need of DEI action to bump up their numbers? Black athletes are vastly overrepresented in lucrative and prestigious professional sports. To correct such eccentrics, should Asians and Hispanics be given mandated quotas for quarterbacks or point guard positions to ensure popular athletic diversity, equity, and inclusion? 6, DEI determines good and bad prejudices as well as correct and incorrect biases. Affinity, segregationist graduations, Black, Hispanic, Asian, gay are considered affirming. But would a similar affinity graduation ceremony for European Americans or Jews be considered racist? Is Latino-themed house on California campus the de facto segregated considered enlightened, while European American dorm would be condemned as incendiary? In truth, DEI had long ago become very corrupt. It is falling apart under the weight of its own paradoxes and hypocrisies. It is perniciously divisive idea, unable to define who qualifies for preference or why, who is overrepresented or not, or when bias is acceptable or unjust, and it's past time that it goes away. Hey, Jay Hip, good to see you. Happy there. Happy 121. Sorry, work has gotten in the way of catching live at night. Don't you ever worry about it, Jay Hip. Work is one of those things. I'm here, Shissy. Just finished watching your show from last night. It was terrific. Well, thank you. That was because Rosalind was there. Duh. It's always great. Things are always better with Rosalind. The last time I talked to Rosalind has been quite some time ago. So it was really good catching up with her and see how she was doing. She's doing good. She's been busy from what I understand, really busy. Hey, stars, Hazy, you've been located. It is morning here. Yes, Mary, love it. Putting a coaster on the tea or coffee. That was weird. It's weird. White hate is all the rage these days. I don't know. I don't get it. Like, I really don't get it. But again, we don't live in normal America, because Lord of the Flies, American Style by Lincoln Brown. With a little over a month ago, our editor, Polya Bolliard, sent me a message. Someone had emailed PJ Media in what amounted to a death threat aimed at me over a piece I had written about ICE. This may not have been the first for Salem or Town Hall, but it was definitely a first try for PJ Media and me. I passed the email along to local authorities and placed a call to the FBI. The piece itself was pretty vanilla, and I am by no means the most controversial writer of the PJM Media stables. I had left it up to the good rants up to KDJ. So I was surprised that the article would elicit such a tantrum. Several people chalked it up to a knee-jerk rantings of an immature, unsocialized lunkhead who lacked any critical thinking skills or impulse control. Then I got angry that some lowbrow Cretan would threaten me and, by extension, my family, but there seems to be a lot of that going around these days. Yes, there does. I grew up in Southern Ohio, spent days in Cincinnati at a riverfront stadium, the Children's Museum, which used its best feature to own a cave complete with waterfalls and bottomless chasms, the zoo, a great art museum, and some of the best restaurants around. A trip to Cincinnati was great. Even in my postgrad days as a delivery driver, I welcomed runs to the Queen City because I could have lunch at Camp Washington Chili. For some reason, Cincinnati is or was known for its chili, and they did make good chili down there. Now, the last time I was in the Buckeye State was for my wife's family reunion. I had no desire whatsoever to live northeast of Ohio and head southwest to see my hometown or Cincinnati. For one reason, we weren't there to tour my old stomping grounds, and two, I saw those places were degenerating when I left home decades ago. So recent events following the Jazz Festival did not surprise me in the least, but about the time I thought that situation would not get any more rancid, I learned that Holly, the woman who was knocked out cold on the sidewalk, had to go into hiding and hire a security team. We've been told that the hostilities started over the use of the N-word. As far as I can tell, Holly did not instigate anything and did not utter the word in question. She stepped in to try to break up the fight. In addition to life-altering injuries, she has to now worry about her safety after the fact. Why? If I had to guess, and only a guess, it's probably because she received threats from the anonymous cowardly howler monkey similar to the one that I received via Paula. Despite the peaceful intentions, Holly's infractions seem to be that she was in the wrong place, on the wrong side, and if we are to be painfully truthful, the wrong race. And that is somehow that the internet monsters of all colors are more than happy to seize upon. If I were a betting man, I would wager that there are more white progressives harassing this woman than anyone else. Of course, not every sociopath in the public spectrum bothers to cloak their identity. Consider the case of a public school teacher in Baltimore. He is under investigation for allegedly singling out Jewish students in his class and threatening to go all Yahtzee on them. The teacher even followed the threat up with Yahtzee salutes. This prompted the other students to taunt the Jewish students with Yahtzee salutes. say things such as 6 million was not enough and we should call Hamas and have them all come here. And then there were the incidents of the Yahtzee graffiti. That's inexcusable. And frankly, swift kicks in the rear end should be administered all around, but the students have no idea what goes on in geopolitics or the bloody history of the Third Reich. They have been conditioned to follow the herd. And their cohorts and their internet have taught them that outrage and cruelty constitute the coin of the realm. In their world, Jew hating has become cool. And in their desire to be socially acceptable, they will gladly become monsters. A generation has been raised to follow the herd, even if the herd leads them into a volcano. It's no secret that protesters, rioters, and people who scream at steering wheels are never seen holding clothing or food drives, donating blood, repairing damaged homes, or even picking up trash when walking through the park. Selfless acts are worthless to someone whose world revolves around themselves and who finds self-actualization through performance tantrums and acts of violence. Threats, vandalism, and chaos are all that need to see themselves not just as agents of change, but members of an elite class of people as righteously outraged. Why build something when there's so much catharsis to be had through destruction? And so we will continue to see outrage, death threats, and insanity. But as the late Paul Harvey once said, self-government won't work without self-discipline. The agent provocateurs will be more than happy to let the country become populated with feral activists, purveyors of social media inanity, and adults who, if read the news correctly, have turned to sucking on pacifiers to relieve stress. Once people have tired of the chaos, someone will gladly step in, restore order. It has happened before, you know. I, for one, will welcome our new overlords. Sure, they're probably going to stand me up against a wall and shoot me, but it sure as hell beats me buying a damn pacifier. No, there won't be a pacifier buying in my space. This is not going to happen. Good to see you. Let's see, you guys. Well, I caught it just on replay. Well, it does happen. Yeah. I'll allow it. I don't like Rosalind two-timing you, but I'll allow it though. It was an awesome stream. I had a great time. It was quite interesting. I don't think a lot of people realize what that stream was all about. Neither did I. I was finding very interesting things on the interwebs, and well, it just happened to be one. I wasn't actually planning on doing a stream yesterday, but it happens. It wasn't like I sat down and planned it all out. It just sort of fell into my lap. It's weird. It would be like one of Charlie's Angels just falling into your lap. You never know how it got there. You just know that it's there. And wow. Oh, what am I looking for here? There was something I saw that I wanted to share with you guys. And I got to do it here really soon because I'm about to end my stream very shortly. Let's see if I've got it here. This was an interesting news story that I saw. And I don't know if this is true, so don't blame me if I've got this one particularly wrong. Miami Spice, good to see you, young lady. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Oh, my Lord. So this may not be a true story. I don't know if it is or not, so don't hate me if I'm wrong. Don't hate me if I'm wrong on this.
This is 4-year-old Lane Luviano. She's the one that broke this case open in September when she snuck one of her sleepy stickers out of the classroom.
She kind of pulled up her little shorts and said, "Mom, look, this is my sleeping sticker." And I was like, "The what?" When
Lane's mom, Lisa, saw the sticker, she thought it was strange and asked her daughter about it.
And the teacher gives it to you, where she put it?
On my eye.
And what's it look like?
Sleeping with a moon on it.
Lane's dad says he's known something was wrong since school first started.
They never notified the parents.
So Lisa took matters into her own hands. She reached out to the other parents in Lane's class, sent them pictures of the patch to see if their kids were getting the stickers too.
I showed it to my 4-year-old and she said, yes, that's That's the sleepy sticker. And if you read the ingredients on them, it has a lot of, it's just things I've never even heard of.
And they're giving them drugs to make them sleep, to keep them quiet.
Najala Abdullah tells us she'd noticed changes in her son, who told her he'd been getting the stickers too. She says he'd been crying, stopped eating, and was bringing home lunches that he hadn't touched.
Oh, are you needing a sleepy sticker? Is that what it is? J-Hip, you need a sleepy sticker. Well, J-Hip, you just like this right here. You love this right here.
Welcome to the shit show.
Oh, yes. Every single day, a new flavor of fuckery. Cause everybody sucks, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of rocks. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, boulder, dash, poppycock, mollugs, and fuckery. Oh, J-Hip, well, you got your sticker. I need a caffeine sticker. Oh my, oh my, oh my. But that's not the only thing that is interesting here, because this right here, and everybody has heard this particular sound before. They've seen it. This right here is going to be going away. And if you're wondering what that is, that right there is the AOL is going to discontinue its dial-up internet service on September 30th, 2025. It is still there. After 34 years in operation, the famous dial-up modem handshake sound burned into our memories will now become a relic of the past. So I have a question for all of you people. I have a very serious question, and let's see if you can figure this riddle out. I don't know if you can, but if you can figure this riddle out.
Hey, babe.
Yeah.
What does a burnt pizza, a frozen beer, and a pregnant woman all have in common?
Do you guys need that one again? Let's see if anybody gets that. What does, and she's going to ask again.
A burnt pizza, a frozen beer, and a pregnant woman?
Burnt pizza, frozen beer, and a pregnant woman all have in common.
What do they have in common? You want to know what the answer is?
I don't know, Michael. What do these 3 things have in common?
Someone forgot to pull it out.
Michael. Absolutely not.
Oh my God. Speaking of pulling out, it's time for me to end this thing. God damn. Stars. Hey, how you doing, Boosh? Good to see you. Good to see you. And if you guys are wondering, yes, if you saw that your green thing has gone away, if you saw that you're not green anymore, you were so green, but you're not anymore, it is okay. It's okay. It is just because I changed the amount that my lowest membership is. So you should have been refunded your $1.99 if you want to become a member again. It's really easy. It's now $2.99. Make sure that you hit that thumbs up. That means so much. And always your monetary support is definitely appreciated. I do appreciate each one of you. I did have to raise my rates up though. Somebody said, I'm not paying you more money so you can sue somebody. And I had to explain to them, I'm not suing anybody that I know of. I'm not raising money to sue anybody. So there you go. If you lost your green tag, that's why. Don't worry. You can always become a member again if you want to. It's just $1 more. No worries if you don't want to. I totally understand. Love you, Shizzy. Well, thank you, Happy. I appreciate you. And these ad things, I hate it because I can't tell who's who anymore. I mean, I can tell it's Rozilla's Realm and a few others. J-Hip, for example. I can see you guys. But I do have a hard time telling who you are. And I wish they would just go back to having the names because it was so much more fun. And you guys were always ingenious with your names. But with that, I have to get myself ready for work. And I will see you guys, well, tonight with Mo in the Deep End over here. I will be coming back at 6 o'clock tonight with Mo. We're going to be doing some more of the Twin Flames. And then we'll make it Rumble exclusive. We'll be over there going over watching the video and commenting on it because YouTube doesn't like whenever we do it here, and we don't have time to do a 6-hour show so you can do it. But it's most definitely time for Mo, and I guarantee you tonight's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. I think I'd love to see you. Good to see you, Funston. And it says, thanks for the morning wake up and the smiles. Well, I'm glad I could do that for you. And everybody have a wonderful day. We'll see you this evening. Peace.
Bless your heart. I thought I was the only mentally challenged one here.
And shine, coffee's brewing, feeling fine. News is out and on the air. Shizzy Whiz nuts wild, but we don't care. Morning Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz nuts, start the show. Let's go. Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Headlines spinning in the breeze. Stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java, wear a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Headlines spinning in the breeze. Stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java, wear a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Serious is overrated. Every day we're caffeinated. Talk the town, but in a jest. Morning Whiz is always best. Ticking, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop. Clock is ticking, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop.
Oh my god, Shizzy breaks Larry. Shizzy broke Larry.